Let your body settle now. Your shoulders, they may have been carrying something today. They don't need to carry it anymore. Just let them drop. Let the weight go from them slowly, as if something you have been holding is finally being set down. Your hands, notice where they are resting, the warmth of them, the quiet heaviness of your fingers, the slight curl of your palms. You don't need to hold anything right now. Let them rest completely. Your jaw, you may be holding it without knowing. Let it go, slightly apart, soft. There is nothing your face needs to work through tonight. Your feet, feel them where they touch the bed, the places where the blanket meets your skin, heavy, still. The blanket over you, the weight of it pressing gently down, the warmth of it building slowly beneath, the way warmth always finds you when you stop moving. There is nothing you need to solve right now. Nothing to plan, nothing to remember. All of it can wait. And as you breathe, the world you know grows quiet, and something older takes its place. You are in a monastery on the Himalayan plateau. The year is somewhere in the 17th century. The air is thin here, thin enough that every breath feels slightly larger than you expected, slightly cooler. The altitude sits around 3,800 meters, above the tree line, above the lower clouds that drift against the ridges. The stone walls around you are very old. They hold the cold of every night that has passed inside them, and the warmth of every lamp that has burned. Tonight you will simply rest here. The last light is leaving the courtyard. The flagstones are wide and dark, worn smooth in the places where feet have crossed them for generations, at the doorways, along the path to the main temple. Everywhere else the stone holds its original texture, rough and cold under the open sky. A yak stands at the far edge of the courtyard, tied to an iron ring set into the wall. The bell at its neck gives one low, hollow note when it shifts its weight, then silence, then another. The sound moves across the courtyard and arrives at nothing in particular, just a note, and then the cold air taking it. The monks have come in from evening prayers. Their robes are maroon and saffron, the yak-wool underlining adding weight to the fabric. Their breath makes small clouds at their lips. The altitude does that, makes the breath visible even before the deep cold of night arrives. The last monk crosses the courtyard without hurrying. His sandals make a dry sound on the flagstone, once, twice, and then he is through the door and the courtyard is empty. The sky above is the color of old ink, stars appearing, one at a time, then all at once. The butter lamp room is warm. Not warm the way you might expect from outside. Warmth here is a narrow thing, gathered around the rows of small clay bowls where the yak butter flames burn. The flames are very low, each one no larger than a thumbnail. Together they make a light that shifts constantly without ever going out, a slow amber flicker moving across the gilded surfaces of the wall. The smell is particular to this room. Yak butter has a heaviness to it, not unpleasant, just present, something between tallow and smoke, something ancient and ordinary at once. The monks have tended these lamps for longer than anyone alive can remember. The lamps have almost never gone out. You sit near the edge of the room, on a low wooden bench worn to a polish. The floor is cold stone, but the air here sits heavy with warmth and the sweet undertone of juniper that was burned earlier in the day. The smoke has settled into the walls. You can smell it in the fabric of your robe. A flame bends slowly to one side, holds, returns. The old monk sits 2 arm lengths away. He has been here so long that his stillness has a quality you don't often see. Not the stillness of holding yourself still, but the stillness of someone who has long since stopped having to try. He breathes slowly. In, a long hold in the middle of it. Then out again, steady and unhurried, the breath going down low in his chest the way breathing does when there is no reason to hurry it. His hands rest in his lap, one folded over the other, palms upward. The skin of them is dark and dry, the knuckles wide. His mala, the prayer beads, hang from one wrist, wooden beads smoothed to a warm brown from years of handling. He has not looked at you. He has not needed to. In the amber light of the lamps, his face is very calm, the lines of it neither happy nor sad. Just present. Just here in this room on this evening, in the thin air at 3,800 meters. His breath goes out. Yours goes out with it, almost without your choosing. From somewhere behind the wall, a sound. Low, almost below hearing at first, the kind of sound you feel in the chest before the ears have found it. Then it resolves into voices. Many voices, very close together in pitch, moving in unison through the syllables of a mantra that has been chanted in these rooms since before the stones were laid. Om Mani Padme Hum. The 6 syllables slow and even, each one given its full weight. The sound fills the wall. You can feel it in the bench under you, a faint resonance in the wood. The butter lamp flames do not move. They are sheltered from it, but something in the air of the room changes, as if the molecules of the air are vibrating too. There is nothing you need to solve right now. Nothing to plan, nothing to remember. The mantra has been moving through these walls for longer than any concern you carry could have existed. Om Mani Padme Hum. The voices hold the last syllable a long time, letting it thin out slowly into the cold until it is almost nothing, and then it is gone. The wind arrives at the monastery without warning. At this altitude, the wind does not build gradually. It is just suddenly there, pressing against the outer walls, moving through the gaps in the eaves where the roof timbers sit above the stone. The prayer flags on the roof, lung ta, the wind horses, stitched with mantras in 5 colors, begin to move. You can hear them from inside. A soft, rapid flutter and snap, then quiet, then the flutter again. Each time a prayer flag moves, the monks say, it carries the mantra printed on it into the air. into the sky. Om Mani Padme Hum carried outward across the plateau. Cold. The wind carries cold from somewhere above the snow line. It finds the gaps at the window frame. You pull the yak-wool blanket higher without quite deciding to, the way the body makes small adjustments on its own in the night. The wind eases. The flags go quiet. The eaves stop their low moan, and the silence that follows is very deep, a silence that has absorbed the sound of the wind and kept the best parts of it. Somewhere below, in the kitchen, morning is already being prepared. Not yet. Dawn is still several hours away. But the kitchen fire was never entirely out. In a monastery at this altitude, a fire allowed to go cold takes hours to undo. So the embers are kept, banked under ash, and the first monk awake before dawn will coax them back. The smell of tsampa is still in the air from the evening meal. Roasted barley flour, the staple at this altitude where other grains do not grow, made into a paste with butter tea, shaped in the hands, eaten simply. The smell of it is close and dry, like grain and smoke together, like something that has fed people in high, cold places for more than 1,000 years. The butter tea was drunk earlier, salt and butter churned with dark tea until thick, poured from a long wooden churn into clay bowls. Nothing is wasted at this altitude. The cold does not allow it. But morning is not here yet. The kitchen is quiet. Whatever is coming can wait. In the corridor near the outer wall, a single prayer wheel. A cylinder set on a spindle in a wooden frame. The surface is engraved with mantras in fine script, Om Mani Padme Hum, repeated until there is no more surface. Inside the cylinder, scrolls of paper carry the same words, written tens of thousands of times. The paper rolled so tightly the cylinder weighs more than you expect. A monk passes through the corridor and sets his palm against it, a single slow push. The cylinder turns. One full rotation, then it slows, then it stops. All those thousands of mantras, carried once around their spindle, sent outward. The sound of the turning is a low friction, wood against wood, a sound that exists for just a moment and then resolves into silence. The monk has already moved on. The wheel is still. The corridor is empty. Everything it needed to say, it said in one slow revolution. Snow has begun to fall. You cannot hear it exactly. Snow at this altitude, in this dry cold, falls without the weight of lower altitude snow. The flakes are small and fine, more like dust than water. They settle on the stone roof tiles with almost no sound, a dry whisper, the kind of sound you might mistake for the building itself settling. The room is warmer now than the air outside, though by any other measure it is very cold. The stone walls hold the heat of the day in slow release. By dawn, they will give it all back, and the morning will be the coldest hour. But not yet. For now, the walls are still giving. The butter lamps do not know about the snow. They burn with the same low flicker, entirely indifferent to what the sky is doing. The old monk beside you breathes in the same long rhythm. His mala beads do not move. Outside, the courtyard is filling very slowly with a thin layer of white. The flagstones are disappearing. The yak stands with snow on its back and does not mind. The prayer flags have gone still, no wind now, just the snow falling straight down in the cold. The night has deepened to its quietest place. The lamps burn lower. Not out. They will not go out, but lower. The flame finding the last of the butter in each bowl and drawing it up slowly. The light is warm and narrowing. The shadows have grown large and steady on the walls. You are not required to walk anywhere. You are not required to understand anything. The mantra has already been chanted. The prayer wheel has already turned. The snow is falling on the roof without needing anything from you, and the butter lamps are burning their slow, quiet burn. There is nothing you need to solve right now. Nothing to plan, nothing to remember. This moment does not require your attention. It only requires that you be in it. The thin air at 3,800 meters carries sound differently. Sounds arrive as if from a great distance, as if everything is slightly further away than it appears. The chanting already passed. The wind already passed. The bell at the yak's neck already passed. What remains is the warmth under the blanket, the faint smell of juniper still in the walls, the low light, the sound of the old monk's breath beside you, in and slowly out. You do not need to stay awake for any of it. The monastery will continue. The lamps will burn through the night. The prayer flags will move when the wind returns. The snow will keep falling until it is done. The old monk breathes.